Everyone, Waterfall Joe here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to be talking about my first experience shooting JPEGs with the OM-3. Now, I took this camera out last week. I took it out with the 17mm 1.8 version 2. I just walked around the Yale University campus, and I just had fun using the little color wheel here. I ended up downloading some color profiles from the OM website, which I'm going to talk about in a minute here. But overall, I never have really been a JPEG shooter before, and today I was like, you know what, let's just try something fun. Let's just go out and try JPEGs on this amazing street camera. And I kind of view the OM-3 as a camera that's made for its JPEGs. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the process of downloading the JPEGs, the setup, how I kind of program the camera, and then I want to talk about the actual photography experience, and then I want to talk about getting them from the camera to my phone and how easy that was. I'm going to show you some pictures I shot on the OM-3, some of the profiles that I downloaded, how easy it is to download them, and overall just my experience. So let's dive in. So before we dive into the OM-3, those of you who are familiar with my channel are probably wondering, where the heck am I? So I'm still in my same office. This is our office in our house. I'm on the opposite side now. Things have totally changed. We repainted the room. The bookshelves are still over there, but things have changed a lot. We're not going to do a full office review today, but just know I'm still in the same office. Just the bookshelves behind me are now gone. I'm now in the corner over here. Hopefully I can get some wall art and just kind of spruce it up a little bit. But for now, this is what we're working with. I do like that we painted it white because it's a lot brighter in here now. I have a lamp over here plus this light. It doesn't look like I'm in a dungeon anymore. It's very bright in here. So it's going to be a great place for videos as time goes on. I do hope to get some wall art to help with the echo and reduce the echoing and everything, but we'll see as time goes on. So with that out of the way, let's talk OM-3. So for those of you who don't know, this is the OM-system OM-3. Now this is the retro style flagship body from OM. It launched in February of this year, and it's 20 megapixel stack sensor, micro four thirds of course, metal body, weather sealed, stabilized, pretty much the same guts as the flagship level OM-1 Mark II, just in a more retro style body. It is a flat camera, but it has that awesome color wheel that we all love so much from the Pen F. Today I'm using it with the 17mm 1.8 version 2, which is a weather sealed lens. Now, this has always kind of been a dream setup for me. Ever since it was launched, I was like, that would just be a great walking around the city, just taking it anywhere with you if you're just looking for a simple one and done. And I finally got my hands on one to play around with it, and I knew I had to go down to the local city, which for me is New Haven, Connecticut. And there's no better place to photograph in New Haven, Connecticut than Yale University. So last week on Wednesday, it was kind of gloomy, overcast, kind of dramatic day, and I was like, you know what, I really want to take this out, and I decided to download some of the color profiles from the OM-system website. So for those of you who don't know, about a month or two ago, OM launched the OM-3 Creative Recipes is what they're calling it. Now, if you go on this website, you can see there's a few different styles to choose from. So these are some photographers who made some profiles for you to download, and you can go on and pick the look that you like and import it into the OM-3 for you to get that look. For me, this was kind of different because this is really popular with like the Fujifilm shooters. You know, they have the film recipes, but for me, I've always been a raw shooter. On my OM-1 Mark II, on my Nikons when I used to shoot Nikon, I always shot raw. For me, it was, I want to shoot raw because I want to come home and I want to edit it. I want to put on some music. I want to relax and edit pictures. That was just a part of my workflow. But for some reason, when I picked up the OM-3, it gave me a different vibe. It gave me a, I want to play with what this can do in camera, and I want to do less computer stuff. This has always been something I was like, oh, I could never be one of those shooters. Like, how could I possibly be a JPEG shooter? Like, raw files are so much better. But you know what? After shooting with it for a day at Yale, it kind of changed the way that I think about photography. I'm not going to get all philosophical and everything, but I do want to say that for me, I did thoroughly enjoy shooting in JPEG, and I didn't actually want to put them on my computer and edit them. I actually didn't put any of them on my computer. All of the photos I shot at Yale were only in JPEG mode using one of these color recipes, which I'm going to tell you about in a second here. But I just didn't want to shoot in RAW. It was like, you know what? I just want to go out and do JPEGs and just see what I can get in camera. And it was kind of a first experience for me because when I look at my OM-1 Mark II, I have no interest in shooting JPEG. I want to shoot RAW. I want to maximize what I can get out of that incredible camera. So It was kind of a unique twist. It was something I never did before. Next up, I want to talk about the profiles that I downloaded and the process of getting them from the OM-System website onto the OM-3. Well, first of all, you want to go to explore.omsystem.com/us/en/creative-recipes. Now, of course, I'm in the US. If you're in a different country, that part won't matter. Now, when you go to this website, you're going to see this awesome page set up about the recipes and the color wheel, which we love the color wheel. But as you go down, you'll see pictures and you'll see the photographer's name and a little description. Now, these are all photographers who have created recipes using the OM-3 to give it their look. And for me, I was always like, oh, like I don't really want to shoot with someone's look. Like that's kind of not how I do it. You know, I'm a photographer and I want to make my own look. But as I mentioned, when I picked up the OM-3, I just kind of was struck with this feeling of like, I want to try something different and I want to try JPEG. So I came on here and I'll tell you exactly whose pictures I downloaded or whose recipes I downloaded. So first of all, I downloaded Jared Z. And to my knowledge, I believe Jared Z is also a YouTuber who uses OM-System. I will tag him here if he is truly a YouTuber. And I'm not even really a black and white photographer, but I really enjoyed this profile, so I downloaded it, and it was really cool. Next up, I downloaded, sorry if I say this wrong, Kitty Marie Atola Visuals, I believe. Next up, I downloaded Paul Clark. And lastly, I downloaded Jonathan Paragas. So once again, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I had a lot of fun trying these out, and it was really a cool process. So let me walk you through it. First of all, you're going to actually click Get Recipe, and the photo is going to show up on your screen. And you're going to save the photo to your computer. Now, I've done this a few times, but let's do it anyways. And now you'll see we have saved the OM recipe number 1. Then what you're going to do is you're actually going to take the USB cable that came with your camera. So USB-C, I believe it has to be the cable it came with, or it may not work, just so you know. Then you're going to go to OM Workspace. You're going to hook up your OM-3. Under camera, you're going to see load color/monochrome profile. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, but right here I have the OM-3 hooked up to my computer. Most important part is when you do this, you have to make sure the camera screen says MTP when you do this, or else it won't work. Media Transfer Protocol. Okay, so now that you have MTP selected, you can go to Load Color Profile, yes. And then it's going to say Image File. So what you're going to do, you're going to go find the picture. So here's that picture we downloaded. And you're going to see this really cool chart that shows up. It's going to recognize what it is. It's going to show you all of the adjustments that have been done. And you hit Next, and you have to pick what custom mode you want to set it to. So this was actually a black and white. So we're going to put on custom mode 1, and it's a monochrome profile. And then hit Load. It's going to cycle through, and it's going to say Profile has been loaded. So this one is the Kitty Marie. And once again, you can really see all of the different modifications here, which is really cool. And we're going to hit Next, Custom Mode 1, Color Profile 1. I'm going to show you how I set up the camera here in a second. So I've now loaded 2 color profiles under the C1 mode. And I'm going to show you next up on the camera what that looks like. But this is the process. I find this really easy. You do have to have OM Workspace. You do have to have a computer. You can't do this through the app yet. We're not there yet. Maybe one day. But right now, you still it's as easy. That only took me 5 minutes. So as long as you have the cable and you get the camera hooked up, it should be a seamless process. Next up, I want to talk about how I program the OM-3 for the color profiles. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. I think you could spend a lot of time configuring this to your personal liking. The OM-System Creative Recipes website does have a really helpful video made by Ted from OM-System that shows you exactly how to set this up, maybe a little bit better than I will, but I'll do my best here. I will link the website and the video. It will all be linked in the description below. Now, I saved it all to the C1 dial here, but technically speaking, you could also access your color profiles by shooting in any other mode. So like, for example, I could also go to shutter priority and still access all of the creative profiles under the color profiles, which is really nice. Now, of course, for that black and white one, that was saved under the mono. So we're going to switch the color wheel to mono, and then you'll see on the screen here, it says Mono 1, and that is the Jared Z color profile that we downloaded. So yeah, when I'm out shooting and I just want to quickly switch between the two, I can go here, I can go to color, and then here are all of my color profiles that I set up. And you can actually see on my shirt here the different looks that it's creating here. What if we... So there's 1, 2, and 3. And if I wanted to go to the black and white, I can just switch this dial, And we are now in Jared Z's black and white monochrome setup here. And once again, the cool thing is we can still like go to shutter priority. We can still have access to the mono profiles here, so you can save up to 4 different mono. We can go to the color wheel. We still have access to all 4 different color wheels, so you can save all sorts of different ones here. You can also save them to 5 different color custom function wheels on the top here, so lots of options here. So now with that out of the way, let's talk about the photography experience, the shooting experience. So once again, it was kind of a colder autumn day walking around Yale University. Yale University is home to some really cool classic architecture, but it also has a little modern section called the Beinecke Library, which is home to a bunch of rare books. Some of them are only a couple copies in the whole world that you'll only find there, which is really cool. So I was kind of in the mood to do some modern, minimalistic. I did some black and white. I did some color photography just around this really unique marble concrete building at Yale. I'll be showing you the photos as time goes on here. The cool thing is I was able to just try different things without having to really fumble with the camera too much. If I was trying the monochrome and I was like, this looks really cool and dramatic, let's try some color. Once again, as you saw, I was able to just go to the color profile and pick a different one that I programmed earlier. So if I was in the mood for something dark and dramatic, I was shooting the monochrome. And if I was in the mood for something really bright and bubbly, then I switched to one of my color profiles that just gave me a little bit more color, more vibrance to it. And that was a really fun experience. The JPEGs out of the OM-3 are really beautiful. I felt no need to edit any of them. I actually didn't want to edit them. I felt that it would take away from the art that is shooting JPEG straight out of camera. So I said no editing, no Lightroom. They're not even on my computer. So that is the style that I was going for with this camera. Unfortunately, no one came up to me at Yale and asked about it. I thought I'd at least get someone who asked, look at that camera, but I guess everyone was in school getting to classes. Makes sense. But there's something about a OM-3 with the 17mm that inspired me to try new vision, inspired me to try a new style I've never tried before. I would have no issues at all taking this camera pretty much anywhere with me, and I kind of do plan on taking it anywhere with me. My partner and I have been discussing plans to go to Paris sometime in 2026, and I think this might be going with me and the OM-1 Mark II might be staying home. It's crazy to say it, but after walking around New Haven with this camera, it's just so enjoyable. It's so easy to use. It's so simple. I have no issues. It's built like a tank. So now I want to talk about the process of getting the photos from my camera to my phone. Now, first of all, I am not someone who does a lot of like straight to the phone Wi-Fi stuff, mostly because I do RAW most of the time. But for this experience, I said, I'm really trying to do this as seamless as possible. I wanted to get them on my phone to share on social as quickly as possible. So I have OI share, or on an iPhone it's OM share. And I ended up connecting the phone to my camera. It only took a few minutes. And then I was able to go through and pick which ones I wanted to save to my phone, which was actually really cool because not every screen's the same, and seeing it on my phone screen versus the camera screen allowed me to get a different view of it and see, maybe I don't like it as much on the camera, maybe I like it more than I did on the camera. I ended up saving about 30 pictures of about 350. And for me, that's a massive success because normally my hit rate is way lower than that. So I ended up saving a ton of them to my phone, and I was able to share them with friends and family just like that. They're JPEGs. I did choose to resize it to a smaller file size because I'm not printing any of these. These are for internet use. Now I will say if I was looking to print them, if I was looking to do something more with them, I probably would have not resized them at all. But for me, I was just doing them for internet, so I did the smaller size. I will say something that I messed up a little bit is I am not the most level person when shooting, and a lot of my pictures are a little crooked. As I mentioned, I was trying to do no editing, and that even means correcting the horizon line. So some of the photos are a little crooked, and I'm just embracing it as unique. Maybe that's a little lazy of me, I don't know. All right, so to wrap up this video, just to get to the end of it, it's getting kind of lengthy here. For anyone who's considering an OM-3, or if you already have an OM-3 and you haven't tried the online color recipes, I really think you should try them out. If you're like me and you're like, oh, I never do JPEG only, I'm a RAW shooter, why would I ever do JPEG? Trust me. This isn't going to take over your life or anything. This could be an alternative to your RAW shooting. I know I'm still going to shoot RAW on my OM-1 Mark II. That's not going away. There's just something about the OM-3 that made me want to try shooting JPEG. I think it is the fact that there are really cool color recipes available. So you can try what other photographers have done and created, and it's a kind of a cool experience for me. It kind of transformed the way that I view photography. As I mentioned earlier, I have always been a raw shooter. I love editing, like that was just my workflow. But just something about the OM-3 made me want to scale back, maybe chill out a little bit. Who needs to edit it? Why not just see what I can get straight out of camera? So I would highly recommend, if you have an OM-3 or if you're considering getting an OM-3, definitely look into it, especially with the 17. This was just a really nice walking around setup. You know, of course it doesn't weigh much, so I'd have no issues traveling with this all the time, and I do plan on traveling with it all the time. Definitely go on the OM-system website and check out those color profiles. I do hope as time goes on we do get some more options as more photographers share their work, come up with more recipes to share. Maybe someday I'll come up with something, who knows. Let me know your thoughts down below. Have you shot JPEG on the OM-3? Have you downloaded any color recipes? Let me know what's your favorite color recipe from the OM website. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Go do some awesome photography.